Welcome, everyone. I know people are slowly tuning in, but hope everyone is having an amazing Wednesday. We are officially 2.5 weeks away from the AI show and ASU+GSV. It's crazy to think that a year has already almost passed, and I'm so excited for everything to come. This is our second year hosting the official AI show, so we know we'll have some second-time attendees, hopefully, but also a ton of new folks who are wondering, what is AI show? How can I best prepare? What should I even do there? We'll be answering all of those questions. To give you a little bit of an introduction on who we are on this call. I'm Claire, and I'm a partner and AI lead at GSV Ventures. I'll let Fran and Michael do their quick intros.
Yeah, Fran Rosenberg, co-founder of the AI show, and so pumped to go through this presentation with you all today.
Yeah, thanks everybody for joining. I'm Michael. I lead program for the AI show.
And we are here to answer any and all of your questions. Hopefully our emails are easily locatable on the internet or on the website. So feel free to ping us with any questions at all. There is a lot to cover today, so we'll leave a ton of time for Q&A from the audience at the end. But please continue adding any questions in the chat or reach out afterwards. And we'd love thoughts, questions, feedbacks, ideas, anything. So to quickly take a step back and introduce GSV a little more for those of you who are not necessarily as familiar, GSV is a massive platform where we have an early stage EdTech VC fund that spans across pre-K to Gray. And we've invested in companies like Magic School, Photomath, Quizzes, Class Dojo, Nearpod. Hopefully some of those are familiar, and some of you have used those tools in the classroom. And we've been their earliest partners. With that, and maybe we might move to the previous slide, we actually started the ASU+GSV Summit about 16 years ago. That event started out as 300 people on ASU's campus and has now actually grown to an event with 15,000 people across 5 days in San Diego with both the AI show as well as ASU+GSV. We've been big believers in convening this sort of strange cocktail of people who are all sharing the mission that all people deserve equal access to the future. And so we have groups like district leaders, EdTech CEOs, CLOs, CHROs, these folks that all have very future-facing and excitement about how we might innovate in the education and workforce space. So under this platform and with this mission, we started ASU+GSV Summit, the India ASU+GSV Emeritus Summit, as well as our most recent edition, the AI show. We started this because the summit sells out every year. We realized it does touch a limited audience, and we wanted to create a gathering space where we could specifically focus on this critical AI moment. A playground to learn about AI, you can test it, give direct feedback to the builders of these solutions, for builders to showcase their innovations, and for education leaders and buyers to share best practices around thinking about this technology. And with that, I'll let Fran elaborate a little bit more on what you can get from the AI show, as he's the co-founder and lead on all things AI show.
Yeah, thanks, Claire. As Claire mentioned, the AI show is really just an extension of how we at GSV are striving towards that mission, that she highlighted. Through this event, we will host what is the world's largest AI education festival, showcasing innovations in action, be those innovations stemming from education leaders, educators, students, professors, administrators, EdTech CEOs, nonprofits, investment funds, you name it. If they're innovating at the intersection of AI and EDU, they will be front and center, at our event. To go over some quick facts, what is the AI show? Like I said, it's a convention center based extension of the ASU+GSV Summit. There are booths, there are a big keynote stage, there's a demo stage, there's program rooms where you can learn from in a more in-depth way. There's a tech user lab. There are networking events, all again focused at the intersection of AI and EDU. So a quick what literally, the event is at the San Diego Convention Center. This is right on the marina, in downtown San Diego, about 10-15 minutes from the airport. We are in halls E through G this year. It is about a 12-minute walk from the Manchester Grand where the summit takes place. The event is Saturday, April 5th, kicks off at noon. Come early and grab your badge. I think badging opens kind of at 9, and we'll run Monday through 3 p.m. The show is free to attend. So if you are interested in the intersection of AI and education, we would love to see you there. It is therefore also the most accessible, AI education event in the world. That said, you do need to register for the event in order to attend, and we do have a capacity cap. We haven't quite gotten there yet, but we might. So if you are interested in coming, make sure you're getting onto our registration form. It's on the website. Since it's free, you could spend as little as 30 minutes, walking around, going to a session and heading out, or stick with us all 3 days, which of course, we would love that too. Just some highlights on some of our communities. I'll really hone in more on the educator side of the house here. Claire did highlight our strange cocktail, including investors and entrepreneurs and policymakers and nonprofit leaders. But at its core, the show really exists to serve those who are most proximate to the work of education, which is students, teachers, professors, parents, administrators in K-12 and higher ed, systems leaders in K-12 and higher ed. Here's a zoom in on what we're doing in the K-12 space. Some really cool things to point out. The program is continuing education unit bearing, so you can earn your professional development credits live at the event with us. One phrase that Michael, I'm sure we'll get into in the back half of the presentation here, is teachers teaching teachers. This is a peer-to-peer learning event where most of the talks are actually given by someone that is got the same job description as you, who has put AI into action to achieve an outcome that betters learning for students, that creates leverage for themselves, that reduce costs, that drives access. Michael will highlight a bunch of these other activations as well. And so I'll move on to the next slide, but a ton planned for the K-12 community across hundreds of institutions and districts and all that. On the higher ed side, we've really doubled down this year. Last year, I would say the show was maybe 70% K-12, 30% higher ed. We've really tried to even that up. In partnership with Element 451, we've built a higher ed zone. So half the convention center will be for the higher ed community. Last year, we had over 600 universities represented in our attendee base. This year, we're already north of 700. This event really has turned into the go-to place to experience how AI is not only affecting in-class learning and how students are studying and delivering work, but also how administrators are driving efficiencies, revenues, reducing costs, increasing access, and things like that. So very exciting on the higher ed side too. Michael, with that, I think I'll pass this all over to you.
Amazing. Thank you. Yeah, Fran did such a nice job setting us up. I'm going to get more into the nitty-gritty details of the days and some highlights. So before you go, just some fun imagery from last year of all the action on the next slide. I think the high-level thing is that there's really something for everybody at this event, wherever you are in your AI journey or just getting started, you're a pro. We have things happening all day. Saturday, we kick off at noon. Like Fran said, you can come early and pick up your badge. But program, the expo hall, workshop rooms, main stage will all kick off at noon with an opening reception in the evening featuring the UCSD Tritones and a bar. And then Sunday is a full day, 9 to 5. And Monday we are kicking off at 9 and ending a little bit on the earlier side at 3 p.m. So if you go on to the next slide, another key thing is just energy everywhere. We have over 160 different workshops to choose from, over 50 demos, over 120 companies expoing on the main show floor. There's just so much to do, including a bunch of amazing keynotes, main stage events. Fran mentioned the CEU credits, and over 500 speakers that will be presenting at the show across the 3 days. And then I'm going to jump into specific day-by-day highlights. So many of you may have seen, but Colin Kaepernick will be joining us Saturday on the main stage for a conversation around Lumi Story AI. We have Jenny Anderson, Rebecca Winthrop joining us, authors of The Disengaged Teen. We have AI EDU coming for a session. And then Fran mentioned this too, but a key theme across our program is case studies of innovation in action. We have over 100 K-12 districts and over 50 universities represented in programs, sharing stories of AI's impact in the classroom at their university. Here's what I learned. Here's what you can take back to your classroom or to your administrative office tomorrow, which is very exciting. Moving on to Sunday, we've got a little competition on Sunday with Family Feud as one of our main stage highlights, as well as Daryl McDaniels joining us for a performance from Run DMC. Again, we just have tons of action and events across program, including MIT's Future Makers Sure Start Student Showcase. We have a ton of students in programming across main stage breakout sessions, our AI Learning Fair, which I'll get into after this, and featuring San Diego local schools and communities, sharing case studies of innovation in action. And then to close us off on our last day, we have Stevie Van Zandt coming. He's our closing keynote, so he'll be around 2:30 on Monday. You got to come check that out, as well as some really great main stage events featuring state superintendents, featuring sessions curated by David Yeager and Diane Tavener. Just a full packed day of stuff happening as well to close us off. And then on the next slide, this is just a high level view at the floor plan. It's a little bit of a key almost of all the different activations we're building. This year, we're expanding activations. We've built a few new ones, which I'll touch on shortly. But on the next slide, we're just going to walk you through what these visually look like to give you an idea. This is our main stage, right? We just touched on a bunch of exciting things happening there. We're going to have over 35 events across the 3 days. Main stage, tons of energy. Here's a little photo from last year when Bill Nye came to join us. We have demo stage. Come watch the top companies, demo their product. Next one too, we mentioned over 150 breakout sessions happening. So almost too much to choose from across the 3 days there. And then we also have a bunch of different activities happening, podcasting, we have meetups. These all are live on the agenda, and you can choose what you want to come to. Then jumping in on some of our new activations, Fran touched on this too, but our demo stage, this is almost an extension of that, where you can actually get hands-on with the technology. The AI Revolution Lab is going to be in our expo main area. It is a hands-on 40-minute long workshop where you can, for example, we have Intel actually powering the lab this year. They'll be doing a couple workshops, Magic School, CK12, Magpie Literacy, Element 451. You can actually sit down, follow along for 40 minutes on a computer, and every single attendee has a computer to follow along. So that's a new activation this year. Another huge highlight is the ASU+GSV AI, Leading Women in AI program, where we're celebrating over 200 researchers, practitioners, and ed tech leaders live at the show on Sunday on the main stage. But in addition to that, there's going to be on the next slide a wall which will actually feature all the headshots and all the women, just a huge celebration of all the incredible work women are leading in AI and education. And then back to Fran's point about teachers teaching teachers, this holds so close to our mission of the AI show and why we did this in the first place. We're going to have over 150 practitioners across K-12 and higher ed showcasing what they're doing with AI in the classroom or as administrators or as principals. We're celebrating this group. There are AI innovators. Last year we had 11. To kick us off this year, we have over 200 innovators that we're celebrating from all over the world, from all over the country coming to join us. And they will be showcasing what they're working on at the AI Learning Fair. 12 stations going at once. It's almost like an opportunity for more one-on-one, sharing practitioner stories, learning from these incredible leading teachers, administrators, and students in AI across K-12 and higher ed. So you got to check that out too. And then with that, I think I'm passing it back to Fran to touch on our collaborating partnerships and exhibitors.
Yeah, sure. I mean, look, the bottom line of what I'm trying to get across on this slide is that, Michael, Claire, and I certainly did not just come up with every idea, every session, etc. We are deeply entrenched in partnerships with the leading organizations on the for-profit and nonprofit and institutional side of the educational landscape. This is just a smattering of some of our collaborating partners, but there are many, many more. And it's really thanks to these partners that folks like you in the audience have even heard that our conference exists. And also thanks to their partnership that we are sort of able to better understand what's happening in market, what views of the future might be across each institution, and then hopefully through our work curate a program that represents all these different viewpoints so that you all can come to your own perspective on the future and your own perspective on which tool is right for you, given your situation, etc. And so awesome opportunity for us to really be that central hub and spoke in this AI education ecosystem, and hopefully, create a place where you can really explore all these viewpoints, and big shouts out to all of our collaborating partners on that. This next slide is really just to show the, 130 or so companies that are enabling us to have an AI show. Since the conference is free, these companies are literally hosting you at our event. And it's thanks to their partnership that we're able to have this conference. These guys will be on stage talking about how they are bringing AI to the rescue to increase outcomes, reduce costs, increase access, and create leverage for learning leaders. They'll be on the show floor showcasing their technology. They'll be doing demos. They'll be doing workshops. They'll be convening their communities of users to speak with you on, how X teacher is using Y solution for Z result, how X, enrollments leader is using Y solution to drive yield. That's sort of the spirit of what we're doing, with these partners. And we're just so pumped to have them in our corner, and look forward to seeing all the awesome work that they do. Next, I'm going to move into some frequently asked questions, and then we are going to get to all of your questions. And for funsies, we'll make sure that I just give them all to Claire and Michael, and that I don't answer any of them. But let me walk you through the FAQs here really quick. So venue, I think we covered it at the top. Again, it's at the convention center down the street from the Hyatt. It's like a 10-minute walk. Don't book meetings back to back right on top of each other across the two venues. And we are Saturday to Monday. Summit is Monday to Wednesday. Opening reception Sunday night at Summit. Registration, you must register if you would like to come. Registration is required. It is free, but it is limited. Get your registrations in. You can pick up your badge as early as 8 a.m. on Saturday, and then throughout the event. You cannot pick up an AI show badge at the Summit, and Summit ticket holders must have an AI show badge in order to enter the hall. Summit ticket holders are automatically registered for the AI show. Meals, unlike at the Summit, we do not furnish the food, but there is food available for you to purchase. There's a Starbucks. The San Diego Convention Center does a great job. There's healthy options all the way to hot dogs. So whatever you like. Networking. This is probably my biggest push to all of you. If you just show up and wait for the world to come to you, there's a lot of really cool people coming to this event. Make a schedule for yourself. Highlight some sessions you want to go to. Make connections in the app. If someone doesn't respond to your connection request, hit them up on LinkedIn. See if you have a warm connection. Work the process, and that is what's going to lead you to the best results. Michael's probably tired of hearing it, but luck will favor the prepared mind. As we move on here, dress code. Wear something you would be comfortable having a business conversation in, but also walking 20,000 steps in. That's going to be my best guide. If you're looking for what I'm going to be wearing, probably like a sport coat, white button down, and nice jeans or maybe khakis and leather shoes or white sneakers. Maybe Michael, you could opine, but that's sort of the vibe. Maybe we'll throw that to you when we get to the questions. Special events and sessions. There are many, many events that our sponsor partners will be hosting at the convention center and beyond, which means at night, special lunches, special cocktails. In order for them to know that you will be at the event and to have your email in order to invite you to these special parties, you need to be opted in to receiving communications from our sponsor partners. If you are not opted in, I can't give them your email because we follow the law, and they can't invite you to their drinks reception. That's going to be totally cool. So if you want to opt in and you're not, you can just go to your profile, and I'm pretty sure you can do that. Just something to consider. You will, of course, then get a ton of emails. Parking, SDCC has a parking lot. There's ADA compliant parking. There's elevators, everything like that. It's not like it's $50, but it's also not like it's $5. So, probably closer to that 10, 20 range. And the SDCC sets that price. We do not. Access to the summit. You as an AI show ticket holder do not have a summit ticket. If you want a summit ticket, you need to register for the summit. That's all online on our website. Summit ticket holders are registered for the AI show. Lastly, there's a questions email here, info@ASU+GSVSummit.com. I'm Fran at gsv.com. You can always email me as well. And we're still looking forward to meeting you. And with that, I think I'm going to start doing some audience questions if it's cool with you two. All right. Michael, first question is for you here. Sounds like there's an awesome program that you have put together here for the AI show. Congratulations. I'm wondering, some of these overlap. Are any of them recorded?
That is a great question. So yes, many of them do overlap. That's why we recommend you really, like, going to a music festival or going to a conference, define your schedule, priorities. I don't know, it might take some time, pen and paper, or use Swapcard. It's so easy to save things to your agenda. The only stage that is recorded is our demo stage. So main stage sessions, breakout sessions will not be recorded and available online after the event. So definitely design your schedule and put some thought behind that if you're worried about overlapping sessions that you're interested in.
All right. Thanks, Michael. Claire, I've got a really good question for a powerhouse of a businesswoman like yourself. I'm interested in the AI show, but I also have a summit ticket. Seems like there's a lot of stuff overlapping. How should I think about spending my time across the events, especially Sunday and Monday?
Yeah, excited that you'll be able to attend both. They really do have very different offerings. The best way I think about both events is that they are very complementary. The AI show is a fantastic way to dip your toes into all the latest technologies, what people are building in the AI space, to get to know the founders directly and give them feedback and to actually play with their tools. I think the AI show is a place for learning, for sharing best practices across leaders who are actually on the ground implementing these tools. So that's where you'll get a lot of that type of information and insights. ASU+GSV will have much more strategic kind of CEO level decision conversations around, how should I think about implementing agentic AI? And we'll have those conversations at the AI show as well. AI show will be much more practical around what do agents look like today. ASU+GSV may have much more about how do I hire around, an agentic workforce, or what should my CTO be doing? So they serve, complementary, but somewhat symbiotic and different purposes. I would say go to both. It's so much fun to actually be able to, again, play around with these tools. But at ASU+GSV, meet a lot of senior leaders who are working on building these platforms as well. And then a lot of the events actually also overlap across both. So would also, as Fran mentioned, make sure that you are, if you'd like to attend some of these receptions and dinners, make sure you're sharing your emails so that those companies can make sure that you're invited.
All right. Thank you, Claire. My next question here, I've got a trifecta for you, Michael, all sort of around our application. One guest registered for the AI show and the summit, but wants to know if all of the things in the AI show are just at the convention center. One person wants to know, how do they know which sessions are at which event? One person wants to know if they're able to log into the AI show app. Are they registered? I'll take that one. Yes. If you made an app account, you are registered for the event already. But maybe I could toss it over to you on how someone might know where a session is across these apps.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think to kick that off, one, there are separate apps for both events. The AI show uses Swap Card and a separate mobile app than the summit does. So anything you see on that blue, purple colored, icon on your phone, those sessions take place at the convention center during the dates of the AI show, Saturday through Monday. Separately, if you're registered for the summit and have downloaded the app and can log in, those sessions will take place, different locations at the Hyatt, within the Manchester Grand Hyatt for the summit. So separate applications for separate events.
All right. Next, we're going to do a quick rapid fire question. And I know we usually don't like to play favorites, but on the top of your head, what session, Claire, are you most excited for at AI Show? And then Michael, I'm going to pass that to you right next.
My gosh, there are so many to pick from. I think I might cheat and say two. I think very, very excited for Colin Kaepernick's session. It's so interesting because through our event, we've had many touch points of him as a human. He is delightful, and it's really cool to see what he's building in the AI education space. He's working directly with so many district leaders and building this application called Lumi. So really excited to see him showcase a lot of his thinking around building it and talk a little bit more about how he's kind of built with educators as opposed to just building for them. So excited for that keynote session. And then a special plug for one that Michael has been a champion in spearheading, Family Feud. It's going to have AI-themed questions, lightning rounds, and it's going to showcase some of our favorite humans. Some of them are on our AI council, but thought leaders in the AI space, everyone from Pat Young-Pradit, who's the CAO at Code.org and Teach AI, Ben Cornell, who leads EdTech Insiders, if you haven't listened to her podcast, Sophia Romeo, who leads AI at College Board. So really excited to have them, get together and compete on, our very own AI show, Family Feud.
You stole my Family Feud one. But I do have another one that features a special human on this, moderating this call, Claire. Agentic AI in Education, Smarter, Faster, What About Human on our main stage. That one is going to feature Microsoft, Google. Claire will be moderating with Anthropic. And I'm just very excited for that conversation. And in addition to all the sessions we have built for educators, we have a big track we've built also for entrepreneurs, for the tech companies, for people interested in learning from those leaders across big tech. So I would say that's one of my favorite sessions. And then I also have to say, I feel like I'm stealing this one from Fran, but Stevie Van Zandt on Monday to close us out. Monday's our third day. There's just still going to be so much energy, so many keynotes, but I'm really, really pumped to see Stevie Van Zandt on our main stage.
Yeah, those are going to be super sweet. I love Notebook LM, so I'm super pumped for Google's demo of that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I love the demo stage. Like, if you guys are coming to the show, you can pop by the demo stage and just get those 10-minute, check out what my product does, and then leave, sort of sessions that you can just pop by. That's one of my faves. And then I'm super pumped to see how this AI Revolution Lab plays out. I think it's one thing to watch a demo, It's another to have a computer in front of you with dummy data where you can actually use the product yourself live and be shown how it works, and then decide, okay, should I take this back to my team? Is this something I actually want to explore and only need to invest like 40 minutes of your time instead of, doing a demo on Zoom, and then now you have and it taking you like 15 meetings, like it always does when you're buying technology.
Yeah.
All righty, let's move on to our next question here. Michael, I'm going to pop this one back to you. I've got a question on themes and trends that we're highlighting at the AI show this year.
Yeah.
Would you be game to talk us through some of those key themes, trends, like the tracking system you've put together, and maybe how people can filter within our app in order to best determine how to use their time?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I just huge thank you. Fran mentioned during our slides, but our collaborating partners and on our AI council, we really leaned on those groups and those organizations to support and curating and defining our themes. I would say, there's many, and things are changing and updating so rapidly in the world of AI and education. But one thing is relationships in the age of AI, student mental health in the age of AI, young minds in the age of AI, critical thinking. This event is, like we said, registration required, but it's free, right? And there's so much concern and curiosity around what students are really doing. Obviously, the cheating conversation is still very relevant, and it's going to be a part of our program as well. I think because there are so many themes and so many topics that we're covering, to support that, you will see in the app and on the agenda, we have something called tags and something called tracks. So if you're a curriculum designer leader and you're trying to find content for you, you're able to filter through those tracks on the agenda. I think there's almost 15 or 16 tracks that we've designed on the agenda online, as well as tags too. If you're more focused on mental health and social emotional learning, if you're more focused on, human-centered learning, or any topics around K-12 administrator focused work, I really recommend student success. I really recommend you using those tags and tracks to filter and find sessions for you.
Yeah, I think a great way I put it together, in my head, and we're actually coming out with our market map of our exhibitors today, is, we're covering next generation infrastructure for schools and universities. So that's sort of the back end stuff, right? Your enrollments platforms, your LMSs, your SISs, your CRMs, your student success tools, your career center stuff. We're covering teaching tools, the tools that people who do the work of educating would be using. And then we cover personalized learning solutions, those tools that students are using to either, try to cut corners, or on the flip side, better and more efficiently learn and explore their curiosities and enhance their ability to process complex information in simple ways. We are also partnering with universities and academia, with schools and school networks. And then there's the big tech track, right? Everyone's interested in what's coming out next from Google and from Anthropic and from Meta and from AWS and blah, blah, blah. And these are topics we're exploring too, especially on the main stage. And Michael referenced that agentic conversation. All right, next question. Claire, you're kind of a master networker, so I might throw this one over to you. So I'm coming to the AI show. I don't know anyone. How do I set meetings for myself, be that with investors, be that with entrepreneurs, be that with education leaders? Like, what do I do?
Yeah. Well, great question. I think everybody is coming to the AI show to learn, to network, to connect with people. So you are not alone. A lot of people are bringing their teams, or their, a bunch of teachers from their school, or professors from their university. But also coming alone means that you'll get to meet so many new people. And I think one of the great things about the community that we've built here is that everybody shares the same mission. So nobody is closed off to meeting new folks and learning alongside each other. How I would kind of more tangibly approach networking is definitely check out the app. That is the best resource for identifying who else is attending. One of the best ways I've used as kind of a guiding mechanism for better understanding who is doing what in X ecosystem is to actually check out the agenda, because that's essentially a way to better understand who is doing the most important work in what space. So if I'm a higher ed leader, I might filter for the track that Michael mentioned, or I might just filter for higher ed tags. And then that's a for sure way to identify at least 20 folks who are doing really great work and willing to share thought leadership and insights in the ecosystem. And then the other thing is I wouldn't hesitate to, just even strike conversations with exhibitors. They're so excited to share. And we've built this place or the exhibitor space as a place where people are going to challenge, bring new ideas, test, give feedback. So would definitely also leverage that space as well.
Yeah.
Michael, anything to add?
No, that was perfect. And it's just, even on the agenda, we have networking events to come to, right? We're working on a job seeker event. We're working on a leading women in AI networking event, an AI innovator event. You can find all those kinds of meetups and organized networking events that we've curated at the show.
The other thing I might quickly add is also that, you can also bring a friend. This AI show obviously has a big focus on the future of education, but it is also a really great place to just get exposure to the technology and really think of it as a place to future-proof yourself. Think of it as a place to just have a seat at the table and to be able to actually interact with these tools very directly and push back on it, give direct feedback, be excited about it. But you can bring a colleague, bring a fellow teacher, a student, or if you're at a university level, someone who's curious about AI. This is a place for anyone and everyone.
Yeah, and my wisdom for you would be to set an intention for yourself. Your time is your most valuable asset, right? We all only have a certain amount of it, and you're going to be choosing to spend some of that sand, on our event. Well, ask yourself why are you doing that, and then create an agenda for yourself that'll enable you to accomplish the goal that you're setting out to accomplish, and don't just expect success to be handed to you on a silver platter. There's 11,000 people registered for this event right now. We're expecting another 3,000 or 4,000 people to register. I don't know if clicking the connect button on our app and then expecting a meeting to magically appear is going to cut it. You're going to need to do that work of being in the grind, being in the hustle, setting your meeting, setting your agenda, picking the booths that you want to go visit, reaching out to those exhibitors, booking a time, setting my schedule. I'm overlapping with the summit, so I've also want to get over there, so I need to work in 10 minutes for walking. And once you prepare yourself and you do all that pre-work, this platform that we have built should just lead you to be able to achieve those goals that you're setting out to achieve. So that would be my 2 cents on that one. I think we might have time for 1 or 2 more questions. Michael, I think I've got a student or a young person here asking a question. I love what you guys are doing with the AI show. How do I stay connected year round? Where can someone follow us? What are we doing on the socials? Could you update the squad about that?
Absolutely. Yeah. A couple things come to mind. One, shout out to our social media team. Every single day there is something about the AI show coming out, a new update, new event, new way to connect with people. Follow us on LinkedIn. I don't know, that's where I've been living these days, but on X, on Instagram, you make sure you're on our email list. So when you register for the AI show, for example, you'll start getting our email announcements. That's a great way to stay connected year round. If you're a student that is passionate about AI, think about applying next fall to our innovators program, because that's a great way to stay connected with a group of of students across K-12 and higher ed that are passionate about AI and education. All year round, we are posting, we are sending announcements out, ways to connect. So just make sure to stay connected on all our socials and emails.
All right. I think we're just about at time. I so appreciate you two making time for this webinar. And to our audience, thanks for joining us. Again, if you guys have any questions, we're always here to answer them on email, on LinkedIn. You can Instagram, DM us. Nicole will get back to you. However you like to do your stuff, we should be pretty accessible wherever. We're so pumped to welcome you to the San Diego Convention Center on the 5th and can't wait to see you there. And other than that, just feeling a lot of warm and loving feelings. So thanks for everyone's time, and we'll see you there.
Thanks, everybody.